Right here, look at this. The Sharpening 77, Sarah Brown, and the Supernatural Sasquatch, or Bigfoot. And here's some things that I noticed about this right quick. Um, the effect of recording sounds made by entities, that's identical to white noise. And now thinking back, I watched Finding Bigfoot shows where they'd catch like sounds where it'd be going off in the distance, and I'm like, wait a second, that's exactly what they do on haunted sites. You know what I'm saying? So that's that's a definite connection. And now here's another connection too. This is what this is reminding me of, especially what I'm seeing on this show right here. Trey Smith did a video. It's called Witches and Demons. Witches and Demons, something to that effect. And it shows this little girl in Russia. She's floating in the air. And you can see this being of light with the big, long, elongated head. And it has like this beam coming down, hitting the girl, and she's floating. And then Trey Smith goes scene by scene. And he shows this dog runs up and it looks over at something real quick and then runs away. And then it runs over into the next scene, which is the little girl floating in the sky. And it looks like there's multiple entities in that footage there. And there's the Skinwalker Ranch Bigfoots. And they say basically these Bigfoot creatures make these little portals of light and they crawl away in these little portals. You know what I'm saying? So here's one thing that I do know for sure. This is real close to home. I know my aunt, she told me that her and my mom up in Marquette when they were kids, they used to jump. They would jump from garage to garage at the certain spot where they were at. And they supposedly saw a creature come walking up that was all hairy. And I remember my aunt said she was so afraid because the thing was so tall that its head was up where they were at, and they were standing on the garage. And this is in Marquette, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? You probably said, that's a while ago that this happened. So that's I think the things personally, I don't know. I think there is a very much like a trans-dimensional aspect to the Bigfoots. It's pretty crazy, man. Anytime, when I think of I don't remember a singular. I can't think of a Indian legend where it talks good of giants. You know what I'm saying? Because these things definitely fit the description of a giant. There's also something called it's the Mothman effect. That this Mothman creature, which is kind of like a Bigfoot with wings, like a stranger thing, but it's this creature, and it hypnotizes people with its eyes. And on this footage here on this show, it's showing how people are getting zapped and telepathically communicated by, they think, Bigfoots. But looking at it, it sounds like that's exactly the same thing when they say they channel ascended masters. It sounds like they're doing the same exact thing as the people saying that they're channeling telepathic stuff from aliens, like Jordan Maxwell. You know what I'm saying? Or David Icke saying that spirits are giving him intelligence. This is all the same thing. And this lady just made me realize something. It is. Whatever this entity, it comes in the form of the night hag. It comes in the form of shadow people. It comes in the form of Bigfoot, of alien abductions, of poltergeist activity, of demonic possession. Because listen, someone saying something's talking to your mind, that sounds like demonic possession. But also people say Jesus talked to them, or God tells them stuff to say to people. So, you know what I'm saying? Even though these things are similar, they're different. The source is different. You know what I'm saying? The demonic always lies about it's who it is. You know what I'm saying? Not to say some people haven't been be deceived by these same entities when they came in the name of God. You know what I'm saying? And tricked people. But yeah, this is pretty much what she's saying, that this thing is the trickster, the Indian legend of the trickster coyote thing. You know, it could change into the shape of a woman, like out of nowhere, out in the middle of the woods. You run up on a fine broad. That's the trickster spirit trying to trick you. It sounds like gathering some DNA of some men. What that sounds like, which you look at that. What is that dang book? Beowulf, that story, and that's similar. This cave demon witch tricks the guy into impregnating it. You know what I'm saying? The trickster spirit. I mean, and it's pretty crazy. I think Bigfoots are physical and supernatural, multi-dimensional. Maybe I don't know, man. But then again, there's also, listen, this is another thing right here. If there is any validity to being zapped, telepathic communication from Bigfoots, I watched this documentary about where all these people are disappearing in the middle of national forests. And this one person escaped from an invisible entity trying to drag it off into the middle of the wilderness. Or you look at something called sheep squatch. Sheep squatch looks like a Bigfoot, but it's shaped like a sheep. And then you look at the satyr, you look at Pan. This lady also was showing about the flute, and they always show Pan, this little satyr, horned goat fertility dude. He always has a horn. You know what I'm saying? Or a flute. Similarity there. But yeah, the sheep squatch is maybe it's because it is a supernatural creature, and it conforms to what you think about it. And then Chris Everard has a documentary about magicians and how that the demons would appear in the mind of the magician. One magician might contact the same demon as another, but yet it'll come in a different alternate form, because what it is almost like these things are trying to communicate back to us through what we believe and what we've seen. They're trying to manipulate us by what we believe. So therefore, this one being can reveal itself to all kinds of people in countless different forms. You know, and I mean, the Bible does explain that Satan is somewhat of a shapeshifter. You know what I'm saying? Or you look at the Tupac Amaru, the shining one, the shimmering one, or Quetzalcoatl. These guys supposedly could take the appearance of a Mayan or an Incan. They could also take the appearance of, like, with white hair, mystical white Aryan look. And they also could take the form of a reptilianoid look. You know what I'm saying? Though reptilianoids are different from Bigfoot, there has been allegations of that type of Bigfoot action as well. Like Bigfoot might be able to. It's a shapeshifter, or you know, its appearance changes from sighting to sighting to sighting, and it's pretty crazy. Oh, Bigfoot, the Bigfoot spirit or whatever, man, the spirit of the wild.